just saw part of the rehearsal. Wow, what a wonderful rehearsal. I mean, you're all over the place.
Yes.
Manuel, what inspired you to create this work?
Different things. First, the number of dancers. I think I really wanted to do a piece for the whole company. And then I had to find a composer. So I asked Michael Carlson to send me some tracks of his music. And some really inspired me, and I had the first track that we used at the beginning of the piece. And I totally started to make a story with the people really trying to break through the heavy weight of properties in a world where feelings and emotion are totally forbidden. A bit it's safe for maybe Zori piece or something. And then I start to play around this idea. And after I just did little work with the new direction in choreographic lab a bit before, and there is a running part that I really liked that I call like Run for Your Life. And I think it was really working with these people trying to find emotion somehow, kind of desperate to find back emotions, and ready to die for it. So that's how I started with this idea. And the more we've been working, the clearer it became for me.
So the excerpt that I saw, I didn't see much, and so it's not fair to kind of judge and interpret. It has an intensity. Other than its beautiful lifts and its wonderful, the imagery that you use, it's so good. It has an emotion built into it.
That's the idea. That's the idea, to create emotions with the movement, and also always have this kind of urgency to do the movement, urgency to break free.
And Shay, as an artist, I know you have to find your own way of perceiving these images. How do you see yourself in the work?
So there's a duet that I do with a man named Terrell, and it's almost as if, like Manuel was trying to explain to us, our emotions are forbidden, and we're kind of treading this really dangerous water of being together and touching and trying to solve problems together, because in Manuel's world of this piece, we're not allowed. So I think the whole duet is this need for human contact, and this need for just companionship, and all the while being afraid that someone's going to see us, and we're going to be punished for it. So a lot of the lifts for myself remind me of a staircase, because I would just go from these levels and just stand on his shoulders, and then I jump on his back, and then I stand on his shoulders while he's standing up, and then I jump down. So it's just this kind of irreverent, just need to get somewhere else, that is need to break through, I guess.
Yes, yes, yes. Practice.
So there's a time that he cried on stage. He started crying on stage, and there are times when I've cried on stage. It's just just exhaustion. But just this, I don't know, it's almost as if we gave up at the end, gave up fighting whatever reality that we're in, because at that moment it seemed so daunting. It seemed that we couldn't get out of it. So it's just this kind of acceptance that we're not going to get out of this, but at least we're together. And then next comes the Run for Your Life section. So now it flips completely. So you go from, okay, I guess we'll be fine, to Run for Your Life. So the piece for an individual dancer can flip on and off. You can be fine, and then be in danger, and then kind of be safe, and be in danger all over.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1.
Yes.
So Manuel, what is your background? How were you trained as a dancer?
I did contemporary contemporary dance training, I would say modern dance maybe training, with lots of Cunningham and Lemon.
Limon?
Limon.
That was close. That was good.
Yes, at the Conservatoire Supérieur in Paris, which is a bit like Juilliard here maybe. And yeah, that's pretty much my training.
Because I can see the Limon influence. I definitely can see the Limon influence. But and how has that been? Do you borrow that into your choreography, or have you decided to throw it all to the wind and go in a whole other direction?
I won't say I have like one particular style. I just did contemporary. I worked in companies for 3 years in contemporary companies, modern dance in France. Then I did modern jazz and more commercial work with opera, musicals, and TV shows, and fashion shows as well. And then after I decided to do something a bit more balletic. So for 8 years I worked with rap companies, 5 years in Geneva Ballet and 3 years in Cedar Lake Contemporary Ballet. So I would say I've got a bit contemporary, a bit of modern, a bit of ballet, and I love to experiment. So I'm not creating any particular style, but there are lots of things that I love. Roundness. I love using the floor, and I just want to be sure I use my guts when I dance. So that would be my style. And I love risky things. I love when it's thrilling, and I get very quickly bothered when I do dance. So every time, that's why I like when it's quite speed or exciting. Well, yeah, that's the only moment then go be faster. Okay. Yes, you should be right when you're right. Now kicking is back. Yes. Remember, it's like more sweeping accents.
So in this altered world, what's the outcome? Will they find this emotional?
I think it's, I like to think yes. But at the end, I mean, after everybody is like free to interpret whatever they want, but the end is quite, not revolutionary, but there is kind of a drive, and it ends up with just two people together, just the image of the relationship. Not so much about love relationship, but just as human being, we cannot really live without each other. So, I like to leave people free. I don't want to, I have my own ideas, but now I'm not in the need that people see what I try to, even if they don't see my story, as long as they find a link, then I'm fine. And now if they feel that, this moment, because I had in the same situation of a duet, something people interpreting very differently. So, and it's totally fine for me.